A major new initiative is set to transform Africa's energy landscape through the Circular Economy Powered Renewable Energy Centre, a £3.5 million Pan-African research hub dedicated to sustainable energy solutions. Muyiwa Oyinola, Abi Okoya, thank you so much for joining me on Channels Business Global. I always say to my guests, thank you for bracing the cold weather of Westminster. It's exceptionally cold, but we're going to have a very warming discussion, a glowing discussion. I've got to say, Muyiwa, I'm so proud of you and your team. When I was researching all of the stuff that CEPREC are doing, it is pretty phenomenal. Talk to me about this hub. You've called it an innovative hub. We do hear a lot about the circular economy. Talk to me about what makes CEPREC unique and how it's going to change the energy trajectory of Africa and, importantly, Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much, Juliana. Good to be here again. So CEPREC is interdisciplinary, so we bring together the social sciences and engineering, technical. So basically, we want it to work for real people. Secondly, we have a Pan-African approach. So just if you look at our sites, we have across the 6 countries covering West, East, and Southern Africa. We also we're looking at. So basically, we're funded by the UK government for research and innovation, and so that means that we are big on creating knowledge. And
what sort of knowledge?
So basically, we're bringing together the circular economy and energy. And when you say circular economy, how do we repurpose materials? So specifically, we're looking at electric vehicles. How do we repurpose vehicles that are end of life, because they still have a lot of life in them in terms of the components? So how do we use batteries for grid supply? How do we take that apart? How do we use that? But I think the big part of it is also the people side of things. So how do we ensure that whatever we're doing works for real people?
Yeah.
And then secondly, there's the policy aspect.
We're going to get into that. I'm happy you said, Muyiwa,
Yeah.
how is this going to impact real people? Because
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with 2 very distinguished academics. So sorry, I have to dumb it down a little bit. And
Okay.
let's step back before I bring Abi in. Talk to me about what the circular economy is, because if you're not in the sector you're in, or if you're not a journalist like me, a lot of people just don't know. So first of all, tell us what exactly it is.
Okay, so in simple terms, I'll say circular economy is what nature does. Okay, so you have a tree grows, it withers, and then whatever happens, it goes back. It supports the next growth. Okay, so what we've done in our production system over time is take, make, dispose. But the circular economy means that we go is cyclic. So something, the end of something is the beginning of something else. So we're looking at reuse, repurpose, recycle. Recycle is further down the line. So that's what the circular economy is about. So how do you ensure that things are in usable form for a very long period? Yeah, that's basically it.
Let me bring Abi in here. Abi, you lead strategic partnerships at CEPREC. Muyiwa spoke about the funding that you've had from the UK government. I know earlier this week we're showing our viewers some of that footage now from this symposium that you had. Talk to me about the importance of these partnerships. Why did you get involved? And what are you hoping that the backing from the British government, which to be honest is a massive deal, and we're sitting outside Westminster, the Prime Minister's in there at the moment, it's not easy to get their backing. For them to do it, they must have seen something in you where they thought, right, you're on the money.
Thank you so much for that, Juliana. So we had the virtual press conference earlier this week, and that was absolutely amazing to create awareness and to amplify the CEPREC story, which is a really innovative story. What we're looking at is, because it's innovative, we have an innovative approach to partnership as well. So it's going to be very strategic, looking at the triple helix model. So that means bringing together government, industry and academia to work together for social and economic development. So we're really thrilled about the funding that we got from the UK government, and we're looking to expand that by building collaborations and partnerships with the different countries that we've launched in. The idea is to expand what we're doing. So we have research and innovation, but we also need to build local capacity as well. So we need to be able to work with industry, government, academia in these different African countries to be able to build local capacity, those technical skills.
Absolutely.
And in doing that, we also want to have local hubs, because when you're building technical skills, sometimes the practical aspects are very key. So we need to give people that tangible practical skills that they need to foster innovation. That is very critical for us.
I was going to say it's critical. How Abby, because I know you're at every COP. You were in Baku just a couple of months ago. But how do you keep people engaged and interested? Because some people say it's just dull. And we know that, unfortunately, in Azerbaijan, the COP talks seem to dissipate slightly. We've got rhetoric from Donald Trump, kind of ripping up what you academics, spend all your life studying. How are you going to keep people engaged, especially the local communities, to let them know we've all got a stake in this? As Muyiwa was right in saying it, the circular economy affects all of us.
Yes, the way to keep people engaged is to keep them informed. So that's why the amplification is very key. And we had the virtual press conference to not just inform members of the media, but other stakeholders as well. So possible investors, other academics as well, and also other industry players. Once we're all on the same page, it's now easier for us to work together and collaborate for one main innovative mission, which is the CEPREC story. So
Absolutely.
It's really very critical for us. Yeah. And the reason these forums are key is because they create communities and hubs where people with like mind comes together, for one main purpose. And that's why we went there, and we've been going there consecutively, so that we can meet and connect with other players, other stakeholders as well.
Thank you. Muyiwa, do you want to add to that? Particularly, obviously, this is news, so I've got to ask about what's trending. Trump is trending. His rhetoric is trending. Are you concerned about the global trajectory and how positions have changed? Is that going to impact you or not really?
Not really, and that's what we're trying to do. So as Abby said, what we're part of is the Arts Fund, which is a 1 billion commitment by the UK government to research and innovation. And so what we're doing is generating knowledge to see, basically, circular economy, renewable energy has to work for real people, okay? We can't continue the rhetoric that the average man on the street in Nigeria doesn't care about. He's looking for his next meal, okay? So for these things to work and for them to scale, we need to be able to make them...
How are you going to be doing that? Talk to me about some of the practical things, the next steps.
So that's one of the things we are doing. That's why we've decided to go the route of circular economy. So the idea is we don't take new resources from the Earth's crust, so hopefully that reduces costs. So if we are at par with conventional sources of energy, then we have a case to make. Secondly, it's also making it real. So like Abby talked about information. So for example, quite a lot of people don't know the payback of solar panels in Nigeria can be as low as 2 years, 1 year, because of the if you look at the alternative of diesel generators. Yes. So yeah, there's the cost aspect, there's the information aspect, there are all those sort of things. So we just need to make sure that we're not forcing people to do what they don't want to do. It's
but you're disseminating the knowledge.
Yes,
knowledge
exactly.
Knowledge is key.
The partnership is key. We're not going to be working in silos. We're going to be collaborating, and that is what makes CEPREC different, because we're going to be, having that triple helix model I spoke about earlier, and that's how we're going to engage going forward. So just wanted to put it out there that we are open to collaborating. So we will be reaching out, and our website is open, so people can also log on, contact us, and then we can now start the conversation and see ways in which we can work together.
Absolutely. We're running out of time. But I've got to ask, of course, how people can be involved. Abby has just succinctly put it, but we know we've got loads of Nigerians in the diaspora, lots who are studying in Leicester, De Montfort, and across the UK. How can they get involved, Muyiwa? Because it's a big task, and you're going to need a lot of help.
Indeed, we will need a lot of help, and as Abby said, it's all about collaboration, and we are trying to go together to go far. So I guess in the first instance, it will be to reach out to us just to see what they're doing, what their interests are, and then we can definitely forge a path forward.
Thank you so much, Professor Muyiwa Oyinlola, Abby Okoye, it's been a pleasure feasting upon all of your knowledge today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Musa.